Hello everyone. As you may know, my name's Mike Emeny from Books Illustrated Limited, and I'm here to tell you about some excitement that's happened today. As you can probably guess, I'm from the hat that I'm wearing. I managed to get this hat from an auction that was selling memorabilia, movie memorabilia, and this was actually used on the Warhorse, the Spielberg Warhorse movie. So I thought I'd put it on today because obviously today we're going to talk about Warhorse, and these books have now, I'm so excited, have just arrived from Ludlow Bookbinders, and I'm going to do an individual video on each one of them. So just to give you some idea of size, this is the Prestige edition. That's the lettered edition. This one is the deluxe edition, which we'll talk about later. But the one I want to show you today is the collector's edition. So I'm going to unveil this for myself for the first time as well, because I think there's going to be some great surprises inside this box. So as you can see, the packaging that it comes in is really very robust. Let's quickly make an insertion here. So packed away in here, beautifully protectively packed, as you can see. I'm going to take my hat off for the rest of this. It really should travel well. There should be no problems when they arrive at their destination. So let me move this packaging to one side and let's have a look at what's in the box. Whew. Well, the first thing you notice is that in sort of a military style, we've got our cat logo into what looks very similar to craft paper, and it's got our little cat logo over here, which incidentally should peel off like this. So you can keep this to stick things down or wear it proudly, I don't know. So let's have a look inside the book here. Oh, this is when it gets exciting. And here we have Warhorse. It's in a sort of military grey slipcase. It's got blind embossing of Warhorse on the outer part. It sits beautifully when it's sitting on your bookshelf like this. You can see the spine, the gilding. You probably don't know what the image is from just the spine, but you can see beautifully embossed up here, Warhorse by Michael Morpurgo and the illustrator Christian Birmingham down that side there. When we slide it out of the slipcase, the slipcase, by the way, has got Suede-L inside, or I think Americans call it velour. It really keeps it nice and plush in there. It makes the pulling out very, very smooth. A very high quality slipcase. And then we have the front cover, and it immediately tells you what the story is about. You can see the battlefield with the barbed wire. You can see a soldier who's looking quite tired, a horse that's been through obviously some traumas and some adventures, making his way across the battlefield with kind of mustard clouds in the sky. And as it goes over to the spine, you can see the ground comes to a Devon landscape, which is of course where Joey and Albert want to get back to the safety of their farm and their normal lives. And obviously it's like a sunrise or sunset, and now those mustard clouds are actually sort of sunset clouds in the sky. It's beautifully printed and embossed, and it's a good size book. It's got a red headband and tailband, and as you can see there is a yellow or golden ribbon that runs through it, so you can never lose your place. Inside the book, when you open it up, we have printed end papers in the collector's edition, and these were done by Paper Wilds. They're very well known, very respected people for creating, hand marbled end papers, and they created this design for us, which kind of gives you the feel of the battlefield and the craters that would be there. As you open it up, you come to Warhorse, and when you open it up, you've got you feel the paper, the quality, which is a 120 GSM. It's Munken paper, so really high quality paper. You can feel the letterpress that's been done. This was done by Nomad Letterpress. I think Pat Randall and his team, Ellen, have done a fantastic job in laying this book out. And I know when I spoke to them, they were saying the pages look really, really good. The red part, just adding in a bit of red, sort of a deep red really, of Warhorse, and as you'll see later, the drop caps on each opening page, every chapter has that on there. So let's turn over another page. Here you can see Michael Morpurgo has signed each one of the books, and below that Christian Birmingham, who we've worked with for must be 15 years now. We had a great relationship. I always loved Christian's early artwork that he did for The Night Before Christmas. He did The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. And of course, he's worked with Michael on The Butterfly Lion and many other books. I mean, literally go to your bookshop and ask for Christian Birmingham illustrated books, and you'll be just surprised at how many there are out there. Let's turn another page. Okay, this is the dedication page. There's a dedication, of course, from Michael Morpurgo, but this one, of course, has a dedication from Christian Birmingham as well. Which I think is only right. And then we get into the story itself. And this is what I mean. It really looks lovely. The drop cap works perfectly. There's a lot of space on the page. The words can really breathe beautifully, I think. I love the little symbol at the bottom giving the pagination number. And then the story continues. Let's get to one of the illustrations, shall we? Let's find one for you. Here we go. It's at the beginning of the war, and they do this first charge. I hope you can see that. I think it looks beautiful on the page. I mean, the book is nice and heavy. It's got a lovely weight to it. Not all the pictures are all bright and sunny days. There's some really muddy pages on there as well of the scenes of battle. And of course at the end it all comes right because Joey comes back to England. There are a couple of illustrations that have a folded out section, so you get like a double page spread. The title of the picture is on there as well. But I think when you get this book, you're just going to love it. It's a superb one, and we're very, very proud of it. I think Warhorse, for me personally, and I'm not unusual because I think most people my age had family members that fought through this war. I never met my grandfather because he died so young. When he came back from the war, working with horses in the Royal Field Artillery, he joined up when he was just about old enough to get in. He was one of the really young guys. and he only came home from 1919. He was out there virtually the entire time, and he said, of course, it was horrible losing men and friends, but working with the horses had that they didn't choose to be there, and he, coming from a farm, working with horses, it was something that really moved him. And of course, so when we had the opportunity to work with Michael Morpurgo, a lovely man, we jumped at this. I know sometimes reading a sad book or a sad story, you sometimes are not keen to do, but actually this story is a story that should be read. When you finish reading it, you feel very uplifted. Sure, you're going to go through some sad moments, but in this case, at least Joey the horse comes back with Albert, but it tells the story, and I think it's a story that we should all read. I think you should read it with this collector's edition. Its price is £295. There are only 400 of them in this binding. I believe that they're going to sell extremely well. Head on over to booksillustrated.com. You'll see videos of the making of this book. You'll see videos of Michael Morpurgo talking about this book and, of course, about this story. That's the collector's edition. I hope you love it.